Hi everybody. In this video, I just wanted to take a little time to give background on myself, like how I got here and all the craziness that I've already been through. So just to give you a basis on why I even decided to do this project. So I remember I was never overweight as a child or anything like that, or in high school really, or anything like that. I do remember being in sixth grade, and I grew up dancing, and being in sixth grade and being like 96 pounds and feeling like I needed to be, I needed, I remember thinking about food back then as like, oh, I need to restrict, and um, periods of high school where I would try to get down for something, whether it be a dance or whatever, and I'd restrict a little bit. Remember one time going through like eating like a salad a day or two salads a day. So that's not healthy. But my mom was always dieting. My grandma was always dieting. It was out there for me, especially as a dancer. Then I hit puberty. Didn't have a dancer's body. Wasn't ever overweight, like I said. But I was like, oh, well, what else can I do? I guess I'll act. So I went into, after high school, I went to college to try to become an actress. And that's about the worst possible field you can go in if you've got any kind of body issues or eating issues. It's not conducive to that. And if you don't have them, you will most likely probably develop them after being in that industry. And I don't know. I don't have the best taste in my mouth about that if you can't tell. However, barring a small period of time where I was actually depressed, found out I was depressed for about probably 5 years. I didn't know I was depressed, but other than that, I've never really been much overweight. Now, I was a little fluffy at those days, and I think I even said that in one of my videos prior. I was definitely not happy in my body. I was binging a lot because that was part of my depression, was compulsive eating. I was binging a lot, and then I would try to restrict. I was never full on like anorexic or anything like that. I could never make it that far. That's really horrible. But I did restrict, followed by binging, compulsive eating along the way. I've tried every different diet plan to try to get down, because when I was in the entertainment business, the agents and casting directors, and they were always like, I was stuck in the spot where they're like, well, you're not weird enough looking to be a character actress, but you're too heavy to be an ingenue. So there was a constant pressure to lose the 15 pounds that I've not been able to get off until now. So that being said, I have tried a lot of things. It's been there since I remember, since sixth grade. I've tried different diets. I've tried different methods, some crazier than others. I've done cleanses. I've done fasts. I've done portion control things. I've done the high protein. I went vegan for a while. That was more a health thing, just to see. I've been all over the map. Even in this video series, I've been all over the map. It wasn't until after I went through my depression and I got on medication, and that helped a lot, because that took care of a lot of the compulsive eating issues. But my therapist did recommend that I go to Overeaters Anonymous, just because I had a very disordered way of eating, and that was through years of, tried and true things that I had done to myself to get me out of whack. That being said, it's really hard for a normal person, or for anybody, to feel normal about food nowadays. The portions they give us are ridiculous. You hear one thing one day and one thing the next about what's healthy for you and what's not healthy for you. It's really overwhelming. And I just have always been searching for what would work for me and make me feel good and have the healthiest relationship I can have with food, which I feel like I've gotten to now. My friend had given me a book several years ago, and that method of thinking about food trying to just get back to listening to your body really, really helped me. And so I have really felt pretty good since I was no longer depressed back in 2001. And I've pretty much stayed at the same weight since 2001, maybe fluctuated about, I'd say realistically, about 7 pounds, 7 to 10 pounds on the high end. Lately, I've struggled with the tax season. It gets very busy. I get chained to my desk. My dad has a bunch of candy around. I do have a sweet tooth. It's hard for me to say no when the candy is there. I've realized that I can't have that stuff around. So that's where I was for the last 8 years. I've been home, and I've just been struggling to try to get, I just wanted for once to get the final 10, 15, well, it went up to 20 after 20 pounds that I've been trying to get off my entire adult life. And for some reason, I always felt like if I got this 20 pounds off of me, that like the heavens would open up and the unicorns would fly and the angels would sing. Nothing is really different. I feel amazing and I feel a lot better the way I'm eating now. But I just wanted for once in my life to follow through, to find a way to get the 20 pounds off. And I kept searching, and I employed a lot of different methods along the way to get where I am. And I filmed every bit of it, and it turned into more of like a diary for me, but I hope it's relatable. And I hope that anybody viewing will recognize some of themselves and know that it's not all perfect and it's not linear. Weight loss or any kind of journey is not linear. There are ups, there are downs, there are tragic moments where you have to pick yourself back up. You just have to come back to consistency. You just have to keep at it. You just have to find something that works for you. And you will see in the 2 rounds, there are many different ways you can lose weight. Some healthy, some not. I look back at those first videos when and believe me, I've been way worse than that, which is frightening because that was still chaotic eating. And I felt okay in the head, but looking at it, it's nuts. I'm nuts. If I had one more corn chip, I was one corn chip away from 12-step program, okay? So it was still disordered. I finally feel like in my second round, following a specific program that one of my friends had just suggested, I finally feel like calm about it. And you can even see it in my demeanor. I'm like a different person. So I hope you just learn something, I don't know, or maybe even just recognize that it's okay to not be perfect on this. And I'm an average person just trying to lose weight. And I was just tired of seeing all the perfect people online eating. They seems like they eat perfectly. It seems like they exercise all the time, and they always look good. It just adds to the feeling that is not attainable for the average person, and it adds to the self-loathing. It adds to all the negative stuff, and I wanted something more relatable. So I hope you get that out of the videos. I hope. I don't know what you'll take from it, but it was a learning experience for me, and I'm glad I did it. So I'll check back in with the next video in the series, which is I go into more depth of kind of the 2 ways that I went about losing the weight. So stay tuned for that.